Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a completely mind-bending journey. We're going to start with the microscopic universe hiding deep inside our own bodies and go all the way out to the literal, chilling edge of the cosmos. You know, it's so easy to just take our everyday reality for granted, right? We wake up, pour our coffee, go to work, completely blind to the astonishing realities operating right under our noses. Our world is built on this foundation of scientific magic that just hides in plain sight. So we're going to pause, zoom way in, zoom way out, and fundamentally shift how you see the world around you. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's kick this off with a pretty bizarre, almost comical question. What do you actually share with a banana? I know, it sounds like a setup to a really bad joke, but it's actually a deeply profound question about the fundamental building blocks of biology. Just think about your answer for a second. Turns out you share a staggering 50% of your DNA with that exact piece of fruit. Seriously, 50%. Think about the last time you peeled a banana. It seems entirely alien to us. It's a plant, it grows on trees, no brain, no heartbeat, and yet beneath the surface, at the very foundational genetic level, half of the instruction manual that built you is completely identical to the instruction manual that built it. So in a very literal biological way, we are all a little bit bananas. It really just goes to show how wonderfully connected we are to the organic world we interact with every single day. We're cut from the exact same biological cloth. But that profound connection doesn't just stop at our DNA. To really understand our place in things, we need to look closer at the living, breathing universe inside of us. Because the truth is, you aren't just a single organism navigating the world. You are literally an entire planet to a vast array of microscopic life. I want you to really try to wrap your head around this number. Your gut alone is home to around 39 trillion bacteria. 39 trillion! To put that into perspective, that is thousands of times more than the entire human population on Earth. And they are all living, thriving, and working inside your digestive tract right this very second. And this microscopic universe isn't just hitching a free ride either. It's actively helping with your digestion and constantly bolstering your immunity. Completely without any conscious effort from you, billions of these tiny organisms are waging wars against infections and breaking down your meals just to keep you alive. Your body isn't just a vessel. It is a bustling, perfectly synchronized ecosystem all on its own. And speaking of what's inside us, it isn't all just squishy biology in there. We're talking raw, elemental chemistry too. The iron currently floating through your bloodstream, carrying oxygen to your brain right at this exact moment, is enough to physically forge a small metal nail. Just imagine that visceral reality for a second. If you could somehow extract all of that essential mineral from your veins, you'd have a solid piece of hardware you could literally hammer into a piece of wood. We always think of ourselves as these fragile combinations of flesh and bone, but fundamentally, we are walking, breathing hardware. So let's zoom out from the incredible ecosystems of our own human bodies for a minute. Let's see how these bizarre biological rules translate into the survival quirks of the wider animal kingdom. Because out in the wild, nature has engineered some truly spectacular and, honestly, sometimes hilarious solutions for existence. Take the octopus, for example. It's a brilliantly intelligent creature with 3 separate hearts. That alone is a marvel. But here is what I find absolutely incredible. When an octopus starts to swim, one of those hearts actually stops beating entirely. It just shuts down. It's such a deeply strange physiological feature. Imagine if human bodies worked that way. Like the second you started jogging down the street, your body just mechanically shut down a vital organ to optimize itself for the workout. It is a crazy testament to how entirely alien ocean life can be. Meanwhile, back on dry land, the pace of life changes dramatically, bringing an entirely different set of wild survival rules. Let's talk about the sloth. Their digestion is so incredibly slow that they only go to the bathroom once a week. But here's the real kicker. To do so, they have to leave the high canopy and climb all the way down to the forest floor. They literally risk their lives every single time they do this, exposing themselves to predators just to relieve themselves. Try framing that in your mind as an epic, high-stakes, slow-motion action sequence just to take a weekly bathroom break. Talk about an intense daily routine, right? And jumping from the jungle back to the ocean, we run into facts that completely break our understanding of time. Sharks have been patrolling the deep waters of this planet for over 400 million years. 400 million! Now, we generally think of forests as ancient, fundamental pillars of the Earth, but trees? They only appeared on our planet about 350 million years ago. Really let that sink in for a moment. That means for 50 million years, sharks were swimming around in ancient oceans on a planet where the very concept of a forest didn't even exist yet. Yep, sharks are older than trees. How wild is that? Stepping back to look at our planet's overarching botanical and chemical rules, we find these everyday illusions that completely defy our basic logic. It really challenges what we think we know about the very things we consume. Botanically speaking, science can be incredibly, almost comically, confusing. Bananas actually qualify as botanical berries, while strawberries do not. Whoever named our produce clearly wasn't consulting with the actual botanists. The names we've so confidently given things in the grocery store completely contradict their strict scientific classifications. So hey, the next time you're peeling that banana we talked about earlier, not only are you eating something you share half your DNA with, but you're also enjoying a massive, thick-skinned yellow berry. If we pivot from taxonomy to the pure chemistry of our food, honey is a true, undeniable marvel. Picture this. A team of archaeologists carefully opens a sealed, dusty tomb in Egypt. Inside, nestled among artifacts that haven't seen the light of day in millennia, they find a jar of honey. And because of its unique chemical makeup, the low moisture and high acidity, that honey is completely safe to eat. Empires have literally risen and fallen, languages have been born and died, and that honey just sat there, perfectly preserved. It is the only food that never, ever expires. And when it comes to the elements themselves, the physical rules of our reality can bend in spectacular, mind-bending ways. Under very specific conditions of temperature and pressure, something known as the triple point, water performs an absolute scientific miracle. Imagine holding a single glass container where the water inside is simultaneously a solid block of ice, a sloshing liquid, and a boiling gaseous vapor, all at the exact same time in perfect equilibrium. It takes this strict thermodynamic definition and turns it into a captivating, almost magical visual reality. Finally, having explored the bizarre biology, deep history, and chemical magic of our world, it's time to launch off our incredibly vibrant, chaotic, and loud Earth. We're heading out into the vast, eerie expanse of the wider universe. Down here on Earth, we are constantly surrounded by noise, right? The wind howling, waves crashing, cities buzzing. But despite all that bustling life we've just explored, space is completely, utterly silent. It's a true vacuum. It completely lacks any physical medium for sound to travel through. Sound fundamentally requires a substance, like the air we breathe or the water in our oceans, to ride on, compressing and expanding molecules to reach our ears. But out in that great dark void between the stars, there's absolutely nothing to push against. Explosions, supernovas, colliding galaxies, they all happen in a perfectly silent, profoundly chilling expanse. As we wrap up this explainer, we've traveled from the shared banana DNA inside your very cells, past the ancient treeless oceans of the sharks, all the way to the absolute crushing silence of the stars. It really makes you pause and reevaluate everything you touch and see, doesn't it? What other invisible wonders might be hiding right in front of you, just waiting to be discovered? Keep looking closely at the structure of things. Deeply appreciate those microscopic ecosystems keeping you alive. And never ever stop questioning the incredible world around you.